Good morning, alumni, friends and guests. I'm delighted to welcome you to this inaugural UNSW Alumni Entrepreneurs and Innovation Summit. UNSW aspires to be known for innovation and for our global impact. So this summit is an important event titled suitably ambitiously From Silicon Valley to Quantum Harbour. Our aspiration is for UNSW to be Australia's global university, the Stanford of Australia, at the heart of Quantum Harbour in Sydney. Whilst I acknowledge that we have a long way to go, I believe that with the right ethos and the right approach, that can be achieved. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Peter Lowy, Peter Hurl and Francis Van Ruth, the Australian Consul and Trade and Investment Commissioner in San Francisco, for getting us off to such a good start last night. Peter Lowy gave us some wonderful insights into innovation in the retail sector. I noted his comments about the drive for innovation, both physical and digital, and the need for partnership and collaboration, which have a strong parallel for UNSW and indeed for higher education generally. The world of higher education is conservative, but it's undergoing fundamental change, and UNSW will be leading at the forefront of that change. I want to use the next 20 minutes to cover a few things. First, I will say a little bit about my background and focus on the aspects of my career as a social entrepreneur and innovator. That's a feeble attempt to obtain credibility in this extraordinary gathering of innovation and business talent. Second, I will then give you a brief overview of our UNSW 2025 strategy and our vision for the next 10 years at UNSW. And third, I will talk about innovation at UNSW, what we are going to do, and importantly, what we're already doing to make our vision a reality. First of all, a little bit about me. I trained in medicine at Cambridge University and University College London, and my professional background is as a cancer surgeon. But I've always had an entrepreneurial interest, and I've always been attracted to innovation and impact. It was that led me to research to address the first problem I encountered as a trainee junior doctor in 1983. The poor outcome for women with cancer of the ovary, with over 2/3 of those women dying from their cancer, despite surgery and chemotherapy. I had ideas about ways to detect ovarian cancer early by screening and to put them into practice. In effect, though I didn't realize it at the time, I set up my first startup, a charity called the Eve Appeal, to raise funds for the research. I wrote to the FTSE 100 companies in the UK, pitching them my idea, and within 3 weeks, I had £30,000, a lot of money at that time, an early example perhaps of crowdfunding. That startup charity is now the Eve Appeal, the major charity for women's cancers in the UK, and the research eventually led to a grant funding of over $100 million and one of the largest trials ever conducted involving 202,000 women, which reported last year. It's also led me to many other startup ventures which are a bit disguised by an apparently conventional career as a cancer surgeon, research-focused professor, dean of medicine, a university leader, and now in the dream role of vice-chancellor at UNSW. Those other startup ventures include building a private medical practice, creating an institute for women's health, establishing a biomedical research centre, setting up an academic health science centre, initiating a development venture in Africa, the Uganda Women's Health Initiative, creating a major partnership initiative in linking universities and hospitals in the north of England, and most recently founding a startup company called Abcodia, which is commercialising the screening test that has emerged from my research programme. So I like to see myself as a serial social entrepreneur, and I understand the challenges and excitement of the innovation and entrepreneurship world, from the initial concept and securing startup funding to the challenges of building an enterprise, the frustrations of dealing with large organisations, the angst of losing control, of dilution at second and third round funding, and the thrill of success in building something worthwhile which can improve lives. I've learned important lessons about the entrepreneurial experience, which I hope will be of value in developing the UNSW innovation agenda. My experience of innovation and entrepreneurship is directly relevant to the direction of travel of UNSW. I've had the privilege of being in post at UNSW for almost 18 months. It's been an exciting time. UNSW is no longer a young university. It's in its 68th year, and by most rankings, in the top 100 of over 25,000 universities worldwide. But it remains young in outlook, willing to think differently and to respond to opportunities. During my first 8 months in post, I undertook an extensive consultation and engagement process involving staff, students, alumni and external partners to develop and agree a new strategy. In October last year, we published a strategy for the next decade, a copy of which each of you should have received. The 2025 strategy reflects the ethos of UNSW. It is innovative, ambitious and altruistic, reflecting a conviction that our university has the potential to achieve great things over the next decade, which bring benefit to our local community, Australia, and have a global impact. We aspire to be Australia's global university, improving and transforming lives through excellence in research, outstanding education, and a commitment to advancing a just society. The 2025 strategy has 3 priorities: academic excellence, social engagement, and global impact, each of them with 2 to 3 themes. The academic excellence priority involves a research theme with large-scale investment of over $2 billion planned over the next 7 years in research staff at all levels and infrastructure to catapult us into the top 50 universities worldwide. And an education theme involving innovation through use of new technologies to help personalise and enhance learning with a unique and flexible blend of face-to-face and digital education to create a unique UNSW Scientia educational experience. Our second priority of social engagement has 3 themes: a just society, grand challenges, and knowledge exchange. We will take steps to achieve equality of access for students of all backgrounds and equality of progression for all staff. These are big challenges we're already taking on. We will mobilise the expertise of UNSW to lead debate, discussion and policy formulation on the grand challenges that face Australia and humankind. We'll work ever more closely with business and industry to ensure that the discoveries from our research enterprise are rapidly disseminated for social and economic benefit. More of that in a moment. Our third priority of global impact also has 3 themes: internationally engaged education, partnerships that facilitate our strategy, and our contribution to disadvantaged and marginalised communities. We'll expand our global educational reach using novel technology and novel technology-enabled approaches. We'll develop high-profile institution-wide relationships which will enhance our ability to deliver excellence and innovation in research and education. An example is the Plus Alliance, Phoenix, London and Sydney Plus Alliance involving King's College London and Arizona State University, and our strong relationships with universities in China such as Shanghai Jiao Tong and Tsinghua University. We'll expand our efforts to work in partnership to improve the lives of disadvantaged and marginalised communities in Australia, the Asia Pacific and further afield, including Africa. All of this is a big and expansive and expensive agenda, but we've just completed an extensive analysis and a planning phase which demonstrates that with the right approach, with sustained commitment and with rigorous financial planning, we can generate the additional billions of resources required to achieve our aspirations by 2025. A key aspect of our plan is the innovation and knowledge transfer agenda. We have a decent track record to build on. As one of Australia's leading global knowledge exchange universities, we can point out that UNSW right now is first in Australia for the number of millionaires amongst its alumni, first in Australia for the number of graduates who have become ASX 100 chief executives, first in industry-focused Australian Research Council linkage grants, has the biggest student startup program in Australia, and is the top performing easy access IP organisation worldwide. A report we commissioned last year from Deloitte estimated that the contribution to Australia from research output of UNSW pushed out into the Australian economy was $15 billion. That's laudable, but we have a long way to go. The comparable figure for Stanford is over $2 trillion dollars contribution to US GDP, over 100-fold higher. And we aspire to be the Stanford of Australia. Fortunately, the Australian government has now focused attention on the key role that innovation and research play in improving economic and social outcomes and in transforming Australia. University research lies right at the heart of this transformation. For every dollar invested in university research, between $5 and $10 is returned to the national economy, equivalent to an annualized return of 60 to 100%. While additional strategic investment in research is a necessary condition for innovation, it's far from sufficient. To achieve even greater returns, Australia needs to stimulate entrepreneurialism and intensify knowledge exchange between universities and industry. Innovation will play a key role in the implementation of our strategy. UNSW aspires to be increasingly known for its focus on innovation, the scale and extent of interactions involving staff, students and alumni with industry, business, government and with our community partners. In order to make our innovation and knowledge transfer pipeline more accessible, effective and productive, we've launched a series of initiatives. I want to briefly outline those initiatives. First, we've created a new post of Deputy Vice-Chancellor Enterprise, which is now occupied by Professor Brian Boyle. The appointment has been made and our new Deputy Vice-Chancellor Enterprise will help to coordinate our offering, establishing a single entry point and working closely with our knowledge exchange, technology transfer and commercialisation office. UNSW Innovations, which is led by Dr. Kevin Cullen, and the Michael Crouch Innovation Centre, which provides both an accessible, flexible working space and fosters applied creativity through collaborative design, are part of this. Brad Ferber, COO of the Michael Crouch Innovation Centre, is here at this meeting. Both Kevin and Brad will feature in the roundtable session we have scheduled for this morning. Join the meeting. Second, we're attracting and nurturing skills. UNSW is making over 250 strategic recruits to strengthen both the basic and applied aspects of the innovation pipeline. We will establish a 1,000 interns program to create innovation carriers between UNSW and industry, and we will continue to develop our student innovation spaces, extending our Michael Crouch Innovation Centre to a series of innovation centres across the Kensington campus. We're also funding an additional 500 PhD studentships. Third, we're embedding and empowering an innovation culture. We're putting in place new incentives to encourage researcher engagement with industry. To assist this, we will embed knowledge exchange specialists in faculties to increase our capacity to identify, nurture and rapidly translate research discoveries which have applied potential. UNSW's Scientia Fellowship Programme will implement a flexible career pathway for academics to spend time in industry, and our Professor of Practice scheme will encourage industry leaders to contribute to shaping research at UNSW. Fourth, we're building our partnerships with industry. We will put in place a one UNSW simple gateway for industry and business partners to engage with its staff, students and resources. We'll extend our successful Easy Access IP approach, which offers a free license to a specific technology using a simple one-page agreement. The recipient commits to using the technology to create value for society and the economy, and to acknowledging the role of UNSW as the originator of the IP. UNSW was the first university in Australia to introduce Easy Access IP. To date, we have had 34 technologies licensed and 26 license agreements, 7 companies enabled by Easy Access IP, 4 ARC linkage grants, and $4.5 million generated in relation to Easy Access IP licenses. This approach has been very well received by industry and entrepreneurs. Our model has resulted in researchers wanting to work with us. It's attracted partners we would not otherwise have had, made people want to come to UNSW, and encouraged people to innovate and take risks with us. It has also attracted international students. We're proud that our research is being put to use, that it's creating value and helping society. We're expanding our successful Easy Access IP model to Easy Access Research, eliminating legal obstacles for industry partnership with research conducted at UNSW, and we're scaling up our successful student startup program. Our program called Young Entrepreneurs, scaling up with the aim of creating more than 100 startups per year. We're introducing a first step voucher scheme for small and medium-sized enterprises, entrepreneurs and startups so that they can use the vouchers to purchase engagement with the university. Each year, UNSW will host up to 50 multidisciplinary interactive sandpit programs with researchers and industry to stimulate novel thinking in topics of national importance. And in partnership with New South Wales Health, UNSW will open an internationally accredited Scientia clinical research facility in 2016. That facility alone will be available to all university, government and industry partners, allowing laboratory medical discoveries to be taken to market. Fifth, we're building infrastructure. UNSW is establishing a series of incubators across the campus and will develop a major new $100 million innovation park on its UNSW Randwick campus by 2020. Sixth, we're forging new partnerships for innovation. UNSW is in a leading role in a new academic health science partnership which links 3 universities, UNSW, UTS and WSU, with 3 local health districts and 6 medical research institutes, a major development for Sydney. We'll continue to leverage our existing role in successful sectoral technology partnerships, such as ATP Innovations and Uniseed. We're establishing commercial research consortia to bring transformational research to markets such as solar energy, quantum computing and biomedical devices. The $70 million plus commercialization company for our world-leading quantum computing research effort, which Professor Michelle Simmons will talk about today, involving CBA, Telstra and federal government funding, is a stellar example. UNSW will play a leadership role with other New South Wales-based universities and research organisations in support of the state government's exciting long-term objectives for the development of the Bays Precinct site as one of the major technology hubs for the Southern Hemisphere. I will finish with an example of these 5 points in action. In April, I had the thrill of attending a signing ceremony in the Great Hall of the People in Beijing, witnessed by Prime Minister Turnbull and the Chinese Premier, for plans for a $100 million innovation precinct at UNSW in partnership with the Chinese Torch Group. This partnership is a global first and has the potential to reset the Australia-China bilateral relationship and to boost Australia's innovation system. We're excited that UNSW is partnering on this scale with the Ministry of Science and Technology in China and the Torch Group of 150 science parks across China to host the precinct. And I believe that this is very much a vote of confidence in UNSW, in Sydney, in our strategy, and our desire to make relationships with industry even deeper and more collaborative. This agreement places UNSW, our staff, researchers, students, and members of our community at the absolute forefront of future-proofing our national competitiveness. The partnership will strategically position Australia as China becomes the world's largest investor in R&D and the 21st century's science and technology superpower. So, we have a clear, ambitious strategy and plans to mobilise the resources needed to implement it. But I want to finish by emphasising the importance of the involvement of the wider UNSW community as a key factor in ensuring our success. We have approximately 300,000 alumni in Australia and overseas, and although there have been some notable supporters and benefactors, including several of you here today, we've not done enough to involve our talented and successful alumni in guiding the future of UNSW. We want that to change, and that's part of what a meeting like this is about. Your advice, your support, and your involvement are valued and welcomed. And I hope that many of you will become closely involved in an aspect of delivering our 2025 strategy. Finally, I'd like to thank you all for joining us in this endeavour and for your continued support of UNSW. The programme today is designed to be engaging and to encourage your involvement, so please dive in and make the most of it. My thanks to all of you for being here today and for your support for our great university.